Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Andy. Where am I? I'm here. Okay, that's working. Audio working? Audio is working. Screen is not up. That's not good. I need to get the screen working. How's everybody? It's pre-show, pre-Moonbase 2 show. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna get into the show proper soon. And I found the music. I'm actually shocked we had stuff today. I didn't know Toyfair had happened or was happening. And then I was like, oh, look, there are things. There's news to talk about. Oh my God, I don't believe it. The craziness happened. Something happened. And Andy was pleased and the world rejoiced. For something new was coming. Some things are good as well. Some things are kind of but yeah, we'll get to it. You'll see, chat. You'll see. I don't think there's any reason to grease the wheels or wait any longer. We may as well play some music and we can start pooping. Okay, you good? Okay, music time, right? Yes.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and we're here this week, the week of Toyfair. Or, the week of Toyfair, because Toyfair is happening still, as far as I know. Toyfair continues. I think all the reveals are done for Toyfair at this point. It's 9 o'clock, 9:30 here in the UK now. America world-wise, like 3. So yeah, I would imagine like 2, 3, 4. America would have already pooped out all the things they're going to show off, at least Transformer-wise. I'm certain that's true. So we've actually got some things to talk about. Yippee, as the kids would say. Yippee. That's good. I hope you're all doing well this week. I hope you've buttoned up and you're all ready for summer. I know summer's come for me because the cats are starting to shit in my garden again. Oh, fuckers. So that's something I'm already really, really thankful for, that the good weather's come back. Ooh, boy. What a time. And I gotta go around and pick up neighbors' cat shit from my garden. Ooh, I love it. Every fucking year. But we're not here to talk about me handling cat poo, thankfully. We're here to talk about Transformers and what we've been up to this week. I've actually had some Transformers on the back burner, which I haven't talked about for at least 2 weeks or more, because we've had toys to talk about from the past and there was just no time for it. Now there'll probably be time. News stories wise, we're going to start off with more images. So the pre-orders now are up for the Missing Link RC figure, based on the very, very old prototype that was the original unreleased version of RC that we saw. I think it's probably fair to say, like, in the future we'll probably get a Missing Link Unicron, right? I think that's fair to say. I mean, until this RC kind of cropped up, I wouldn't have thought it was possible. The RC's happening. Will the Unicron happen? Yeah, could happen. So there are 2 versions of RC. There is the original colors, which are the orange and pink version, or peach version. Peach? Yeah, something like that. The original toy version and the animation corrected version, the one that we all know and love as RC. There's 2 versions if you want them, and there's also images of some other pre-order figures. We see robot mode, and we see vehicle mode. We don't see the underside of the vehicle, but it looks like her little front skirt, a little groin region is going to poke out a little bit from the sides of the under the car mode. But what can you do? I think it's probably going to be okay. For a G1 styled toy, I think this looks pretty good as usual. Nice to see that you get the option of having the animation version if you think the original intended version of RC is just fucking hideous, which it is. You might like it, that's fine, but it is fucking hideous. I admit that the 90s figures that I love are somewhat hideous, but I love them, and I'll never change on that. But you gotta admit this is not a handsome woman, at least in the color choices, I would say, especially with the weird like bluish gray for the face. An orange lipstick. Orange lipstick never looks good. I don't think I've ever seen anyone pull off an orange lipstick and gone, "Ooh yeah, girl, you work it," as they say. So whatever. That's fine. It doesn't have info on. It just says the pre-orders are up. Is anywhere from? No. Hang on. Let's do some due diligence, right? Let's head over to a Japanese site such as HLJ, which we're not sponsored by. I'm not sponsored by, and see if they have the missing link up there, because then we can maybe see. That's Armored Core stuff. That's no good. Transformers. Missing. We're not gonna. Oh, there we go. Missing link. I've gotten sniffy all of a sudden. All that cocaine, baby. Oh, no, they don't have it up. They don't have it up. Oh, well, I found out what Sunstreaker is. Sunstreaker, if you want Sunstreaker, he was 68 UK pounds. Wowzers. Did it say when he's coming out? Sunstreaker? If it does, I don't see it like near the top anyway. Okay. So I assume RC, if Sunstreaker, both versions of Sunstreaker were 68, I gotta imagine RC's probably a similar height, probably a similar price point, I guess, so like nearly 70 quid for one. I think Missing Link might just be a little bit too rich for my blood. I appreciate this, but I think for what it is, I don't know, it's a little much. Maybe one of those figures though that appreciates in value over time, potentially, because it's so expensive. It's going to be difficult to get, and it's an oddity, and will be interesting to have for a G1 collection. So yeah, maybe. Next up, we have information, rumors, and whatnot. Hasbro partners with Space Marine 2 developer Saber Interactive for a AAA-based game based on the tentpole IP. Maybe. Okay, so let's read the blurb. We have this is from Saber Interactive, Space Marine 2, who was one of the... Oh, they're just fluffing up Space Marine 2. It was one of the most successful games of 2024. Yeah, because it was a game. It was an actual video game. Unlike a lot of the video games where they're sometimes not primarily video games. So this is what they said. We have many new digital collaborations in the works, but I'm especially excited to announce this one today. Being a personal fan of many of this team's games, Cox said. Who's Cox? I guess that's the guy. The man, fair enough. Hasbro and Saber Interactive will be collaborating on an all-new video game partnership developed by the team that made Space Marine 2, blah, 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 combining high-octane single-player action and amazing multiplayer with Saber's Swarm Tech. I'm trying to think of the Insecticons, maybe? I guess, because I don't know what else you'd really use quote-unquote Swarm Tech for Transformers, but... because I'm making the assumption that if they're going to do something Transformers related, it's going to be, if not just G1, it's going to be like War for Cybertron and Edge heavily, in that direction, right? It's going to be that way. Like the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's official. They've announced it when it's going to be coming out. Well, if they're just announcing it now... What, 4 years? Oh, Mr. White says scraplets. Maybe. They could do something with scraplets, potentially. Yeah, if they're just announcing it now, I'm making the assumption, whether that's the right thing to do or not, that they haven't done any post work on this game at all. So nothing. This is just like, it's happening. That could be cancelled in the future, obviously, because things sometimes happen. So we are super early in. 4 years? 5 years, it's probably going to be a while. Fair enough. I think if you're going to give your IP to somebody, Saber's kind of done a good job, like showing off how good they are as a studio with Space Marine 2, as that was not only a successful game, but a well-made game at the very least. You know, it works. It's like, I don't remember it coming out and being broken either. Maybe it was? I don't think it was. I think it worked day one, but it was a little unstable, maybe. But either way, that's good. It's a higher likelihood that Transformers will get a good game, better than the couple of games we've had recently. You know, the Earthspark game, which was tat and shovelware, and the Cyberverse game, which again was just kind of tat and shovelware, and Reactive, which died, which I'm not too fussed on because it didn't look like a game. It looked like it was, again, chasing a trend, which was multiplayer stuff, which is like, just make a video game. Just do that. Mr. White says, a fair assumption, a game could easily be 5 years away, and that's if Hasbro don't change their minds again. Yeah, that's the thing. If Hasbro change their minds and pull the plug halfway through, who knows? As long as we don't get to Duke Nukem or other games of that ilk 10 years, if a game takes 10 years, well, it's not going to be good. I say that based on we've had 2 games at least that have gone through that process of, this game's going to be out. And then 10 years later, it finally comes out and it's shit, you know? So, yeah, otherwise, interesting news. Hopefully it'll be good. I'd like there to be a good new Transformers game. Because the last one we got was Devastation, which was fun, but limited being a, I don't know, not AAA, not AA, lower than an A. Is it what? I can't remember the quote unquote rankings for games. You know, I remember that. Was it Ubisoft or was it EA that tried to coin the term quadruple A? No, they did. So one of the companies put out a quote unquote quadruple A game, and it was ass. It was probably Ubisoft because most of I'm happy to say all of their games are ass. It's been a long time since Ubisoft made a game that wasn't just anus. It was Ubisoft. Okay, thank you, Mr. White. And it was pants. I don't know when the last good Ubisoft game was. That, or at least one that I played, because I played the first Assassin's Creed and was like, That was like Xbox 360, early 360. I can't remember if they've made anything else I cared about apart from, but even that I didn't like. But yeah, okay, Transformers. Good. Maybe in the future. We got a toy line reveal. More than just one Megatron figure. We got the Cyber World toy line reveal, which is kind of exactly what I expected it to be, which is the very, 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 very kiddie toy line where they don't want you to have higher budget figures. So we'll have a look. Because there's a few things that visually look interesting, but to me, obviously, hampered massively by the actual toy line, or the budget for how much has been put into the toy line. So, okay, there's a Scorponok playset. I'll read the blurbs and then we'll look through the pictures. Okay, large-scale toy doubles as a playset with a battle station, a chest cockpit, and a cyber bike. Not just a bicycle or a motorcycle, but a cyber bike, which is going to be $60. Grimlock Chomp and Battle. It's a 9-inch Grimlock figure that has a 4-step transformation. Ooh, stand back. Let's not get too crazy. And can be used as a mech suit or a ride for Cyber Changes figures. Oh, okay, Cyber Change figures can ride on it. Okay, slightly weird phrase sentence, but I get it. That's going to be $30. The Ultimate Cyber Changer Megatron. The ultimate version. I guess it's probably not the best version, even though it's the ultimate version, because the best version should surely be, well, if we're getting a deluxe line, the deluxe line should surely be, yeah, whatever. This will be a 7-inch Megatron with a rideable tank mode for other figures, and that's going to be $25. I'm rounding up by a cent, but you get what I mean. Armored Bumblebee and Galvatron. Bumblebee transforms into an armored armored car, and Galvatron has got a new beast mode, which is $15. And then the Cyber Changes, which are $10. The toy line will also have a new YouTube animated series, 36 episode. Oh boy, these are going to be good. They're 5 minutes long. Wow. Okay. So storytelling is not important. Okay, fair enough. Because you can't get out a solid, interesting story in 5 minutes, I would say. So I'm not expecting a lot after reading that, in fairness. So also consider we went from Cyberverse, which were 10-minute episodes. We then went to Earthspark, which were standard 20-minute episodes, and now we're going down to 5-minute episodes. I don't think that way is the way to go, personally. Mr. White says, sadly, 5 minutes fits the expected attention time of the target audience. Yeah. I suppose you're right. But I don't think feeding into that is the best thing. I mean, arguably, parents shouldn't be letting their kids watch that kind of stuff anyway, but, you know, it's not for me to tell parents what they should and shouldn't be doing, because I don't have a child myself, so I don't really have a point to stand on there, but I don't think I would let my children watch YouTube and watch 5-minute attention span cartoons, because they'll miss out on stuff, and they'll ruin their attention span. Let's watch the reveal trailer. Why not? I'll turn the volume off. Slightly off-center. Do we have HD? This is why is 720p so bad? So there's Grimlock. These are the basic Cyberchanger figures. They're okay. We'll talk about all of these a bit more in depth, because I want to talk about I definitely want to talk about the Scorponok playset. I definitely want to talk about that. I will say there's some aspects about this line which aren't terrible. There are some things which I think look just bad. The Grimlock specifically, I think just looks bad. Not so much the other things. Okay, that's that. So Scorponok, I kind of like this. It reminds me of, oh fuck, what's the toy line that Gruff bought? Mr. White might know. Not that I think he knows exactly the thing I'm talking about, but Mr. White, in the UK, we have a toy line for like 4 to 5 year olds that are like Batman. It's like Batman set, but they're really basic, really young kids figures, and they have really big toy sets. What do you remember? What that company's called? Do you remember? Because it reminds me a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so annoying because I can't remember. I know what the packaging looks like. The packaging is yellow. It's open so kids can fiddle around with it. But I cannot remember the name of it. This Scorponok figure kind of reminds me of one of those playsets where it's really big, but it doesn't do a huge amount. Now, as we saw from the video, it clearly has lights and sounds. It has lights. I'm making the assumption it has sounds. It doesn't have much. Imaginext, thank you, Mr. White. Yes, Imaginext is the one. It doesn't look like it's going to do a huge amount in terms of articulation for an older fan. That's not the issue I have with it primarily. My main issue is the color scheme. The color scheme is not your traditional Scorponok color. Instead of being purple and green, he is what's that, like a Candor blue, like a lightish blue and an orange, and then has green, lime green clicky joints. Now, oddly enough, the lime green, the translucent green, is perfect green for Predator jets, for the Transformers Predators. That's the translucent green that they should have or could have on them. That's the color. That's the good color, I would say. But I don't think this color spread is desperately good. I think the CG images look better because the blue turns, because of how the render's done for the CG CAD model. The blue's more of a it goes a little bit more purple compared to the actual toy. The toy is bluish, like a hard blue. Like you look at it and you go, oh yeah, blue. That blue. That's the Smarties blue, you know? And then you look at the CAD model, it's like, oh, that's kind of a purpley, bluey kind of color. And it kind of, purple and orange kind of work together. That works. But blue and orange, I don't know. In terms of the alt mode, like the transformation, clearly he falls flat on his face and he sticks his arms forward. You could, no, you definitely could say the original Scorponok did a little bit more than that. Not a lot, but a little bit more. This one looks a bit strange because, like, at the back of him, he just has clearly his feet, which are tank treads. But the idea of it being a playset, he has one claw and one chainsaw. That's cool. His tail is more significant than the original G1 Scorponok's tail, so that's cool. He has a sword he can handle in his claw hand, which goes into his tail as the stinger, which, again, I'd argue looks more impressive than the original G1 toy stinger. I think that's fair. And the fact that you can have 2 additional figures, granted fairly awkwardly, mount turrets between their legs, like they're riding one of those animatronic bull things. That's fun. You know, that's okay. It looks a little bit awkward and funky, but yeah, that's okay. This for like a young kid's toy. Yeah, I think that's fun. I could see play value here. Grimlock, like you look at Scorponok, I think he looks decent in both modes mostly. Grimlock looks like a really awkward T-Rex mode. It reminds me of the Rescue Bots T-Rex. It was the Optimus Prime, wasn't it? Optimus Prime turned into a T-Rex for that series for whatever reason. It reminds me a lot of that. The actual Grimlock robot mode is, again, for the target audience, which is probably like a 5-year-old. I wouldn't say like a 6, like, I would be hoping 6-year-olds would be slowly moving towards like deluxes. Mostly, because I know as a kid, I probably would. If I saw on the shelf, like, would you want this, Andy? Or would you like the deluxe? I'd be like, I want the deluxe. It looks like a toy, a big boy toy. I'm not a baby. I want a big boy toy, mummy. And I want it now. And I'd like a McDonald's meal and an ice cream, please. And I want it now. The head sculpt for Grimlock is on point. The hand reminds me a little bit of Beast Wars Megatron, obviously. I don't... The little hand, the Gatling gun on the fist of Grimlock looks, again, a little odd. It's fine. And I think it just kind of falls apart mostly in dinosaur mode, where it's just... the best way is just to look at images of it. Like, the legs just don't look right. It looks like he's squatting down for a poo. Like he's got that like 90-degree knee bend, and he's perched on it on his legs. So it looks like he's squatting over a poo hole out in the, well, clearly he's got a jungle background, so he's having a squat in the forest or jungle and taking a cyber dump. So I can't say that looks amazing, in all honesty. At least in my eyes. The quote-unquote mech mode, where Prime just kind of awkwardly sits inside Grimlock's open mouth, again, looks a little bit odd, I think it's fair to say. No, I'd say it does it look as... I'm trying to think if it looks as awkward for the Scorponok. It looks reasonably awkward for the Scorponok. I don't know what it is about the Grimlock version of it. There's just something that's just not quite right. I think it's because he's sitting inside its mouth that makes me go, you know? So White says, paint Grimlock gold and Kit Bash Optimus to look like the 40k Emperor. I think you could probably paint this up to look like one of the old school Eldar walkers, if you remember that, where they were just open and had a giant canopy where you could just shoot the dude. Because if you wondered, chap, the Optimus Prime figure sitting in the mouth is not protected. It looks like he's gone for a carnival ride kind of thing. So we have some of the what did they call these little guys? What do they call them? Cyber changes. So they showed off Bumblebee, Cyber Changer. He looks like Bumblebee. He looks fine. They remind me in terms of they remind me of the articulation of the Transformers movie Legends figures. So their arms are one piece. They've got a ball joint for the shoulder. They've got a ball joint for both hips, and they seem to have a knee joint, and that's about it. Basic, but for a young kid, yeah, okay. And for like my issue is if these better be like decent size, because it doesn't say how big they are, but for $10, I hope for $10 that they're like, I don't know, reasonably comparable to deluxe size. Because if these are legend size, I'm like, I don't know, bro. For $10, they also come with a weird weapon. I don't know what to think about the weapon, to be honest. It's just like a Bumblebee's got like a knife gun, a gun that shoots knives, I guess. Galvatron, I assume this one is, with the goatee. No, the handlebar mustache. And kind of a wyvern transformation thing with a flamethrower-ish gun. Flamethrower-ish gun's kind of cool. The wyvern mode looks awkward. Reminds me of a transformation that you get from the Monster Pretenders, G1 Monster Pretenders, that kind of basic level of stuff. But the actual robot design, I think, is kind of neat. We haven't seen a Transformer look like that before, so, with that kind of head design, I appreciate that. The wyvern, I don't think works desperately well. It's good enough for a young kid, I think, but I look at it and I go, I assume this one's meant to be Mirage being some sort of jet. Mirage, obviously known for being a flying vehicle in G1, obviously. They've given him a G1 head as well. He's in Mirage color scheme. So it is odd that he's a jet now, but okay, fair enough. The jet clearly he doesn't do a lot of transforming, clearly. What's he do? It looks like you peg the legs together and you unfold the nose cone from his chest, and that's about it. So he looks reasonably basic. Again, no real elbow joints or any kind of huge amount of articulation. The Megatron Bull thing we've seen before. We've got colored images of it. Megatron Bull seems to transform very similar to Galvatron, I think we said this one was. But he's a Bullman. And then the Optimus Prime figure looks like it looks like an Optimus Prime. He-Man who turned into truck. Very standard Optimus Prime design. If you think Optimus Prime, you'll probably get a good idea. And when you see, you'll be like, yeah, that looks like Optimus Prime. Yeah, that looks about right. Then there is a Dinobot of some description. I'm not sure why they decided to color the Dinobot head brown. The color scheme from it is a little bit... It's more Junkion than it is Dinobot. The color scheme is dark, like, let's say chocolate brown instead of poo brown. Silver, yellow, and orange. Literally the kind of Junkion color scheme, but he's a Dinobot. And they decided to make the head of the dinosaur chocolate brown. I think it maybe would have been better to, I don't know, maybe have made that yellow? Because that would have been a bit more standard, like, color placement. But then it would have, I guess if you did that, it would have thrown off the legs. Just being weirdly brown legs. I don't know. I don't know what the win for this would be. Maybe it's meant to be Snarl. He's that kind of dinosaur, whatever that kind of dinosaur is. Who cares? I think for the animals, I prefer the Decepticon ones more, I think, than a weird Dinobot. Yeah. Oh, and that's right. Then we've got Skybite. He transforms into a shark car. Shark car is kind of cool. Again, design-wise, I think the design, if we take out the what the toys are, and we try and think about the design of the characters, I think the designs are interesting. They're a little bit too adherent to G1 still. Like with Mirage, why not just do somebody else instead of Mirage? Like Bull Megatron, that's kind of interesting. The Galvatron's probably the most unique that we've seen. And then we've got Skybite vehicle car shark thing. Again, kind of a fun idea. I guess the vehicle mode reminds me a lot of a Wacky Races, a vehicle from that. You know, it looks like something that easily could have been in that show. Like, it sounds... If this was recolored into Dick Dastardly's mobile, that could kind of work a little bit. Mr. White says, comic Predacon look. Yeah, that's the... Mr. White says, sorry, Predacon look for the Dinobot. I don't know. I'm not a comic well-versed enough to know if that's the case. It just seems weird. Just looks visually weird to me. But again, for Skybite, I think this is interesting. Making him a car is really stupid, but I kind of appreciate it. I think it's kind of fun. Then there is Obese Megatron, I guess we can call him, who's G2 Megatron, but if he turned into a lorry SAM missile launcher kind of thing. I don't like how he's just fat. I'm sorry, I'm gonna discriminate against you, Megatron, because you're just fat. You need to get on a diet. You need to sort your life out. I want you to not have heart conditions, Megatron. That's what I want for you. So let's get you to the gym, my dude. Let's work off those cyber calories, and let's get you back into fighting fit order. Color scheme wise, I like it obviously because it's G2 green and purple camo. Where would that ever work? So I like it visually, but he's just fat. He's just a fatty who ate all the fatties. Out of all of the 5 fat people I know, he's 4 of them, for instance. That kind of deal. So yeah, I think the thing I'll take away from this, instead of being negative, because I think it's easy to be negative on this, because none of these toys look desperately good, is I think the designs look interesting. And I wouldn't be opposed, potentially, for warrior class figures or nice, good quality deluxe figures for these, potentially. But again, some of it still feels safe. Like Optimus Prime is just Optimus Prime. Bumblebee is just Bumblebee. Grimlock is just Grimlock. So yeah, there is that just, well, we can't do anything else. We have to have a Bumblebee. You don't. You could try and make a new character. You make a new character, you can get kids to be addicted to that character, you can spread your wings a bit and try and, what was Beast Wars? Beast Wars was them going, well, I don't fucking know, just make up some new stuff. People liked it, you got to take risks sometimes. And Hasbro is not the risk taker at the moment. Wonder if that's a lot to do with Marvel sales being this fucking terrible as they have been for toy stuff, especially movie stuff. Woof. So... on to new thing, or rather old thing, War for Cybertron Prowl and Earthrise Trailbreaker are getting a reissue. Now, when they say this, I'm hoping for the people that pick these up that these will be more so the versions that came in that 5-pack, where they didn't use any translucent plastic, because I think they were better versions of these figures, because there was no translucent plastic anywhere. But if you missed out on your Prowl, if you missed out on your Trailbreaker, Cutter, person, they're going to be coming back out again. I don't know why these two. I never quite understand with Transformers why some figures get reissued and most don't, but these two are coming. Were these two hard to get? I don't know. Maybe they were difficult to find back in the day. I don't think that's the case though. But yeah, okay. I don't have anything else to say there because I'm not picking them up. So Toyfair 2025 wise, let's start off with the kind of boring stuff. Transformers T-Turtle, Transformers plush, or plushies I should say, made by T-Turtle, who I don't know. These small and cute reversible Transformer plushies. These are small and reversible Transformer plushies. I wish I could read. We have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, in brackets, Tank, and Starscream, plus Beast Wars Primal and Cheetah on display. They will be sold in blind boxes. Oh, goody, gotcha. Everybody loves gotcha. So they are super deformed. They look weird. They look like their heads have been inflated with air. It looks like they're about to float off. I'm guessing that's because you can viciously invert them, turn them inside out, like the horrible disease in the Simpsons Halloween special, and turn them into, well, for Optimus Prime, obviously, you can flip his organs inside out and make him a truck. Fair enough. That lady has some hella nails on her. Oh, they've also done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. I can see in the background that you can turn your turtles into baby turtles or baby turtles into mutant turtles. Yep, it shows you the horrible process of mushing them into themselves. We have Bumblebee with slightly sinister eyes. He's got the eyes of the dog. You know, the shifty dog meme where it's got the eyes looking left and right really quickly. He's got really sinister eyes. Starscream also has sinister eyes, but that's appropriate. Megatron has sinister eyes, but again, appropriate. I think Starscream's meant to turn into a Tetrajet. Or maybe it's just a normal jet, but because it's just round, hard to tell. Megatron's tank mode, again, is just a little round ball. Bless it. The Cheeto actually looks not too bad in quote-unquote cat mode. Is that Cheeto not in cat mode? Oh, there's Primal in monkey mode. But not... Oh, no, there's Primal out of monkey mode as well. I like Primal in monkey mode. That's kind of cute. That works. That's very cute. He looks very evil, though, and he's got little orc tusks rather than, like, gorilla face. But, okay, sure. Oh, there's Cheeto. Cheeto looks a bit weird. They've given him 2 pointy teeth, so he looks a little bit like a vampire. But these are cute enough that they're nothing I would want. And I think if you want plushies of Transformers, these are probably shouldn't be high up your list of things to grab, maybe? I don't know. They're fine. I just kind of look at them and go, you know, whatever. We also got more plushies. Because clearly Toyfair didn't have enough Transformers plushies. We have TY, as in the letters TY, Beanie Bouncers. They like Beanie Babies, but not full of spider eggs, I wonder. And we now have images of the new Whitey Beanie Bouncers Transformer plushies made by TY Company. These are pint-sized 4-inch plush ball toys, now featuring some cute Transformer designs. Oh, all right. There are 3 characters available: Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Violent Giga. No, it's Bumblebee. It's not Violent Giga. that would be the curveball. We're actually making a Violent Giga. And I'll be like, what? My dream is to say that they're making an official Violent Giga toy. I will be reasonably pleased. I won't say happy. I'll say, because I don't get happy. I'll say I'll be reasonably pleased if I get to say they're making an official Violent Giga toy. It'll never happen. So these are going to be $6 each. Let's have a look at them. So they have a cat. Oh, they're just a fluffy bouncy ball which you bounce around, I guess. What a weird thing. They're almost like what were they called? Mr. White, you're old like me. Koosh balls? Was that what it was? Where it was like a little rubber ball. It wasn't a rubber ball. It was like a hairy, round object with like lots of individual strands to it. And it usually had like a big, thick plastic face on it of whatever it was meant to be. Mr. White says, sorry, Predacon. Look for the Dinobot. Oh, sorry, I already said that. Do you know the weird product I'm talking about, Mr. White? Maybe you don't. They've got a few different things here. You got G1 Megatron face on a little fluffy ball, same with Optimus Prime. It does look weird. They've got an alien face design there. And they've got that dog anime from Australia that everybody likes. I don't know what it's called. It shows a man throwing Optimus Prime around like he doesn't care. by the rights of all sentient beings. Oh, there's an Optimus Prime in there. Sorry, a Spider-Man in the background. Now, I only remember Boglin-style ball toys. You'd remember these if I showed you, Mr. White. You'd be like, oh, it's them. I remember them. I'm sure. Let's have a quick search, because... What were they called? Koosh? Koosh balls? Koosh? No. Koosh balls. Oh, Koosh, yeah, Koosh balls, 90s. Yeah, I was right, they're all called Koosh balls. These things, Mr. White. Little weird hairy things. With all the strands and then a hard plastic face on them. Some of them had hands and legs. I don't remember, Koosh balls, I was too old for them by then. Oh. But you know of Koosh balls. I never liked Koosh balls. I thought they were weird. I was like, if I want a ball, I want a ball. I don't want a thing with a weird little plastic face on them. Oh my god, it's Sister. Right there from Nickelodeon. Okay, Koosh balls. I wasn't crazy. They're a thing. But yeah. Little bouncy balls of Transformers, fair enough. Hot Wheels showed off the Hot Wheels X Transformers figures. Now, hopefully these will be better than the last time Hot Wheels tried to make some Transformers. If everybody remembers the Titanium series, which is one of the worst Transformers toy lines. I'm not confident enough to say the worst Transformers toy line, but it certainly has to be up there, right? So, we have two figures. The Hot Wheels cars turn into new Twin Mill and Bone Shaker robots. Twin Mill and Bone Shaker. That's not too bad of a name for Transformers, to be honest. One is a cool-looking... Now, these are actually cool robot designs, decent robot designs, and pretty decent light vehicles, because these are the stupid kind of weird vehicle modes that I would like, because they're just stupid. I'm concerned about the build quality. And the hand feel. But I think... Yeah, maybe you could say that the blue one could have done with a bit more of a reveal of more colors. Like his limbs are a different color of blue and silver. Maybe there was more yellow there or something just to make it pop a bit more. But it's like, that's not bad. It's all right. And then the other, like, I don't know what kind of car this is. Like a hot rod pimp daddy car with a big skull on its chest. It's got the same fucking hip designs, the pissing hips I hate so fucking much. God damn, we just can't escape these pissing hips. But apart from that, the actual design, the head's different. You haven't seen a head like that on a Transformer before, at least I can't recall. It's nice to see something a little different visually. It's not Optimus Prime and it's not Bumblebee or Megatron or Starscream, so that's nice. These feel like characters that could have... at least the one with the skull on his chest definitely feels like something that could have came out in the G2 era, and I would have fucking loved, right? If these are good quality, I hope they are. I'll be honest, what I really would like is these designs to be translated and put into the main line and made as new molds. Like, this is the thing, these are new molds. These are not, like, based off of anything, so it's got that under its belt at the very least as well. So I kind of like them. Twin Mill and what was the other one called? Bone Shaker. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. I expected worse. So I'm glad I'm not disappointed. So they showed off images of the deluxe figures that are coming up as well, and Void Rival sets and some other stuff as well. So we've got official images, and then we've got images from the show. So there's the Age of the Prime Leader Onyx Prime, which we've got pictures of, not official images, but we've got pics from the actual show. There's the Deluxe Alchemist Prime, who's the one on the screen at the moment. Deluxe Crasher, who's a reissue from the Velocitron series, based off the Earthrise Mirage, or something like that. There's the Deluxe Vortex, the first look at our first Combaticon. And the Void Rivals Autobot Jetfire, which I think is the Commander class, but with some other bits. The Zertronian Solia and Agronia Darak, or whatever the piston names are, but assholes from the comic. So, Crasher. It's the Crasher figure. No shock. Whatever. Who cares? If you didn't get the chance to get it before, if you didn't get the chance to get it before, you can get it now. The mold's not great, unfortunately. Bit of a bummer. But at least you've got the option. That's always goo. Alchemist Prime. I like how short and fat his little legs are. His color scheme's really fucking boring. He's just army green and a really dark gray visually. He comes with 2 translucent things that he can plug together. I don't know what they are. I don't even know how to describe them. It's like he's plugging in 2 gigantic halves of glasses, but for a thing much bigger than him. Which is weird. He turns into a coherent vehicle mode, though, so that's good. He's got that above Solus Prime and the one that comes with the Matrix Blade, whatever that boring one was called. So he's got that. He's still got a boring color scheme, like the previous ones, I suppose. But I like his head design. I'll say that. I like his little mustache and little goatee and his weird beady eyes. That's kind of cool. I like his proportions because he looks quite squat as well. So that's kind of nice and interesting. I could skip him. I don't need him. The Jetfire, I am 90% sure that is the Commander class version. I don't know how to feel about the extra figures he comes with. Clearly, they're from Void Rivals. They look like they're in the design of old school G.I. Joe figures. So they've got big screws on the inside of their thighs. So if you were hoping for more modern, like 3 3/4 inch kind of figure action, you're not going to get that. You're going to get old school G.I. Joe shit. And when I say old school, I mean 80s. So 80s, 90s G.I. Joe action. The Vortex, though, looks really good, I think. I don't think he's based on anything. His helicopter mode's not entirely smooth. There is a gap, in the middle of him, because clearly that's how his arms transform and stuff. But, yeah, he's got the right head. His proportions look good. His helicopter mode looks nice. He has the Combiner Wars legs, so I think that's just how we're going to do most of them in terms of legs. He's got a lot of back kibble on the back of his forearms, because that's the back end of the helicopter blades and the end of the helicopter mode. But it doesn't look like it's too intrusive. It's a bit of excess kibble, but it doesn't look like it hampers any of the articulation or anything like that. Doesn't look like he'll have wrist articulation, though. It looks like the hand is molded into the forearm. Not that that's a huge deal, obviously. It's just always nice when a figure has little rotation in his little hands and whatnot. But yeah, I'm surprised Vortex looks as nice as he does, to be honest. I'm like, he comes with 3 guns as well, which I'm not sure if that's accurate to the original toy. Maybe it is, but 3 pistols, I guess you can combine together. No, you can put 2 of the guns into his forearms, and then he can just hold another gun. Hold the gun with the scope, have the guns in the forearms for the no-scope guns. So yeah, Vortex, I'm surprised how nicely it looks. There's also an image of Bruticus on the side of his box, but only in a artist drawing version of him anyway, so that's kind of interesting. So we also had the stuff at the show. We had the case of goo. I'll just read the list of stuff so you know. So we have Age of the Prime's leader, Onyx Prime, shown in Beast Mode, Robot Mode, and Centaur Mode. We have the Studio Series Devastation, Studio Series Devastation, Elite Seeker, and Ground Soldier 2-pack. There's the Age of the Prime's Wreck and Doom. That's the Amazon exclusive stuff, I think. Carnivac and Fistatron. And also the Wreck and Doom collections, Spinister and Topspin, which we've already seen. Yeah. Age of the Prime Generation Select Titan Stripticon, who, again, we've seen, so okay. Generation Select Deluxe Sideways, or Noise Maze, as he's called. Ooh. And Cybertron Exilion, which is the red repaint of Hotshot, which we knew was coming, to be fair. Studio Series Preceptor with Ramhorn and Ratbat 3-pack. We'll talk about that. And the Hearts of Steel stuff, which we've seen before. And then we have more images of the Cyberverse stuff, which we've also talked about. We'll leave Onyx Prime to last because he's the big boy. So let's talk about the Studio Series 2-pack. Once I've read Mr. White's comment. Mr. White says, Onyx looks like a British Ratchet. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. A British Ratchet. Onyx looks like a British Ratchet. We'll need to wait until we get to it. So, the 2-pack is going to be, without too much of a surprise, it's going to be the Earthrise Conehead mold. I think it's what mold is that? Whose mold is that? I think that's Ramjet's. Looking at the wings, I think that's Ramjet. Ramjet. Yeah, let's say Ramjet. And for the ground soldier, I think the ground soldier, someone can correct me if they really want to. I think the ground soldier is one of two things. It's either, and I think it's more likely to be this, I think it's Earthrise. Oh, what the fuck are they called? The black car and the white car, the Decepticon ones. Mr. White, help me out here. They're in the beginning of the IDW series, the original one. White car and a black car, they're the thugs in Infiltration. I can't remember their names. Mr. White also says an old steampunk British racing green version of Ratchet. Oh, okay. All right. Do you know who I mean? Runabout and Runamuck, thank you. Yes. So it could be that mold, or it could be the chase mold, the Rescue Bots chase. I mean, I'm honest, I'm not sure which it is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a reuse of an Earthrise mold, but it's appropriate. It works well enough. They've even done a little bit of cell shading on at least on the front windscreen of the vehicle. And it looks like they've done a little bit of cell shading on the nose, on the cockpit as well for the jet mode. This doesn't look too bad of a set. They've given the Seeker his Optimus Primal blades, which he had in the game as well. I could see myself getting this pack. You know, I don't have either of these molds. I think the repaints on them are quite nice. They've got the new head molds on them. The ground soldier also comes with a sword, which is kind of cute and silly. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's like, I think I'd be disgusted at how much it's going to cost. I'm sure I'm going to be disgusted by that, but yeah, this is a decent looking set. If they wanted to, they could repaint the set at least one more time, because I think you could probably. I think there was at least another version of the Elite Seeker that you could do. If not, there's like generic purple Seeker you could do. And since you've made this new head mold for the ground soldier, you can do the gold version. I think there's another version as well in the game, but I can't remember offhand. But you could do a couple if you wanted to. So that's neat. The 2-packs. Let's have a look at the Carnivac. The Carnivac was it Carnivac? Yeah, Carnivac is using. I think he's just a repaint. I don't think they've remastered the Titan Master because they're using Weird Wolf. Makes sense. Carnivac turned into a wolf, so his internal robot was that, and his big thing was also his big pretender shell was a wolf as well. Hang on, I need to get rid of somebody from chat. Someone's botting again. I need to deal with them personally. Let me pull out my sniper rifle and chainsaw. Let me get that sorted for you, baby. Okay. But yeah, that makes sense why they would choose that, to be honest. So I guess that's a good choice. That and that. And for the other mold, they've decided to heavily remold the, I assume it's Earthrise Hound or Detritus into Iron Fist. This is a set that's going to sell. The Spinister and Topspin probably not going to sell. This one will sell because it's a decent Iron Fist retool, to be honest. Karnavac, I don't think people will care about too much, to be honest, because he's a pretender. People don't care about that. But the Iron Fist, especially being a IDW colored version of Iron Fist, he's not accurate to the G1 toy. I know because I have that figure and it's bizarre. It's peach colored or skin colored, while this one is gray and blue and yellow. Sorry, blue and orange. So yeah, this is a good pack. The previous one, not so much. Good choice here. The Triptychon, again, we've kind of seen and talked about. So there's nothing to say there. I think the Spinister, as I mentioned before, is a downgrade. And then we've got the Noise Maze or Sideways figure, which looks incredibly similar to the original figure. They've even got the Cyberplanet key, gimmick where you put the Cyberplanet key in and the Decepticon symbol, or the Autobot symbol, changes to a Decepticon symbol. And then the little yellow bits on the side of the crossbow, I guess, unfold. It's very, very, very similar, it seems. The biggest difference I can see is that he has ankle tilts. And the back of his heel spurs aren't yellow. They're black now, it seems. So otherwise, it's incredibly similar. It's a great toy, and I'm almost slightly against picking it up because I feel like I've already got it, but I might just pick it up anyway because it is a really cool figure. And I think we can assume that we'll get a Senator Rat-Bat from this mold as well. If you don't have the original version of this figure, this is you just get this. There's no point getting the original one. Buy this; it'll probably be cheaper for you anyway. The Exilion, or the repaint of the Hotshot, looks nice. Good solid colors of red on him. It's exactly what you would think. They've even got the flame effects on the car mode. Yeah, it's just the repaint. Oh, interesting thing about the gun, they haven't painted it at all. On on the standard version of Hotshot, they at least painted the barrel like silver. His is just completely translucent. I wonder if that's because some of the money was put onto the flame effects part, and they went, okay, we'll cut out the gun, painted details, and just go for that instead. Oh, but they've actually painted the Cyberplanet key on his. Interesting. I'm just looking at a figure fell over. That's what the bang was. I was looking at mine, and the Cyberplanet key for the standard version of Hotshot isn't painted. This one is. Huh. Weird. I wonder why they chose to do it that way. Is there any extra paint detail on the robot mode? Let me have a little squizzy over it. No, the paint details look fairly consistent with how they were done previously. And vehicle mode. Now, I'm looking at you a little bit weirdly because you're in robot mode and I'm just guesstimating. Yeah, there's about the same amount of paint on the vehicle mode as well. So I'd say they've just rearranged the paint budget to paint the Cyberplanet key and I guess just not paint the gun. Okay, well, fair enough. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Now, the Preceptor 3-pack. This one's weird because Preceptor, I remember the Studio Series Preceptor already came out. Studio Series Preceptor's already been a thing. And he shelf-warmed for a while. I remember he was going for like £14 and I didn't pick him up. And that's why I picked up the black repaint of him because I was like, well, I don't have the mold. And now he's coming with Rat-Bat and Ramhorn. I don't remember if Rat-Bat and Ramhorn have been released yet, because they look quite nice. They look pretty good. If this is the only way to get those two, I can imagine people being a little bit pissed, and for good reason, because it's like, if you want those figures, but you already have Preceptor, well, tough tits, I guess. You got to buy another Preceptor. If these have also already been released, Rat-Bat and Ramhorn, okay, well, doesn't matter. I kind of get why they're coming with Preceptor, because, you know, he has a little bit of a tussle with them, but it's an odd way to release them. I wonder how much he's going to cost. If they release it for deluxe price point, that would be far too generous for Hasbro. If they release it for Voyager price, I could see them doing it. A deluxe figure, Voyager price point with 2 extra things. I could see it happening. Because I don't have like a Preceptor. Is it tempting? Mildly. Problem is, I know that the mold isn't that good. It's just like a very, you know, that's the feeling I get when I look at the Preceptor mold. It's just, it's fine. But the cassettes makes it a little bit more tempting, I suppose. But it'll depend on price. It really will. And then we get more images of the what did we say? The Hearts of Steel, B and Megalotron. Better images, and the Starscream and whatnot. And they still look, you know, we talked about them already, so don't need to do that again. And then some shots of the Cyberverse, Cyber World. My bad, Cyber World toy line. We talked about them as well. Yeah, they're just some nice in-hand images, which is always nice rather than the scripted ones. They also had a display set up for Age of the Primes with the big boy Star Convoy fighting against everybody. It's a nice display. They always do a good job with making their little dioramas and whatnot, so good job. Now Onyx Prime, the big boy. Our leader, I suppose we're going to say. I like it. I like it more than I thought I would, because I didn't think I would enjoy it too much. I think it has issues, but I think overall it's probably something I wouldn't mind having. In robot mode, he has chicken legs. He's got chicken legs, which I kind of like the visual look of his robot mode, to be honest. He's got a big staff as well, which I'm guessing it's a club or mace or something. I like the head design, you know, the giant bird head with the face kind of buried inside of the mouth. That's a good look to it. A nice imposing presence with the wings. I will say that I think the color scheme of it just being kind of caramel brown and a dark chocolate brown with some black and some silver is maybe a bit meh. I could see them maybe doing a IDW, because in IDW wasn't he like blue and gold? I think his IDW appearance, he was a different color. So I could see them redoing it into the IDW color scheme if they wanted to just be like, here's a really basic repaint. We don't need to remold anything. Here you go. I could see them doing that, potentially. Do we have any shots of the Centaur mode? No, just more robot mode. Come on, I feel like I've gone through these. A lot of images of his face. Let's talk about the Centaur mode first. Okay, there's the Centaur mode. So the Centaur mode, you close the bird mouth around his head, so his face is gone. So he's just got this monster face. And then you kind of shove the back legs. His main legs back, and then the legs that seem to go over his shoulders flip down and forward. It looks quite interesting. I'm not sure how, you know, quote unquote good it would be. It looks a little awkward. I'm wondering how easy it will be to pose and stuff, but it's not too bad. I don't think it's awful. It's again a different look. And then we have what we call this dragon mode, griffin mode. I kind of like it. It's got some issues. It's got the issues of, it doesn't seem like the legs transform at all. Like they just become the back legs for this animal mode. They don't seem to do any transformation at all, from robot mode to Centaur mode to just standard robot mode. They don't seem to do anything. And his front arms or legs in beast mode are just his robot arms, which again don't seem to do any transforming. Like the amount of transforming you do with them is you rotate the wrists around and you open up the fingers, and that's their transformation. So that bit looks kind of basic. So I'm wondering how much transformation this actually does. I think it's the box touts it has like this transformer has 22 steps, but I wonder how many steps will just be you rotate the wrist, you open the hands. It's like, well, that's not really a transformation, I would argue. I like the shape of the dragon head. It's unusual because it's not smooth. It's very blocky and angular. It's an interesting look. I think it's again a little bit too monotone color wise, but still looks interesting. XL Hedge says, but will they make Shockwave out of Onyx? Maybe. I mean, I was saying that maybe they do the IDW colored version at the very least. I'm surprised how this one's turned out. I really didn't have any hope for Onyx Prime, or really any of the primes, and I found one that I thought didn't look too bad. To be honest, I think this one looks pretty good. Even though, like I say, the amount of transforming he does, I think that's up for debate. We'll know once people get them in hand. Excuse me, and start fiddling around and transforming him. Then we'll be able to see how much transforming he actually does. If you know what I mean. Again, the weapon, I'm hoping this is a hard plastic for his weapon, especially the tip, and not a soft plastic. But yeah, that was all of the Transformer reveals. I'm trying to think if Onyx is a big reveal, and I kind of really do like the Devastation 2-pack, to be honest. I think they're both pretty good. For TFCon, we've got Suma Lee, who's going to be going to TFCon Los Angeles in March 7th to the 9th. And also, she was the voice of RC in Prime. And we also have Jim Cummings, who's the voice of Winnie the Pooh, and a lot of G1 characters as well. So if you're going to TFCon, you can go and see those people as well. Were people happy with what was shown off at the Toyfair? There was a few other bits as well shown off, G.I. Joe-wise. They showed off what were they called? Cold Slither. They showed off the Cold Slither packaging because they're doing a really cool thing where they're doing the Cold Slither Grand Tour in Springfield, where you got like Zartan and the rest of the Dreadnoughts playing the tune. Though it's got a nice little reference on the box with Gem. Gem and the holograms on the side of the box, and the Misfits. That's really nice and cute. They showed off the images of what each of the figures were going to look like, and they look like they were from the show, to be honest. So I was like, oh, that's nice. They're also doing a Cobra Snake, the SNAKE battle suit. It was originally, back in the day, just a drone, I think. So making it a battle suit with like a cockpit and an opening cockpit comes with a flamethrower, removable hands and all that jazz. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be fucking expensive as hell, but it looks kind of neat. I think it looks neat, at least. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, shit, that's fun. XL Hedge says also Macadam deserves a better design, especially when Cyberverse design is right there. Oh yeah, because that's right, because he's the little car, isn't he? Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess he's not Macadam, really. Not this version of him, at least. Alchemist Prime, at least. So, yeah. I wasn't too impressed with the Alchemist Prime figure. We've got the Cobra Fang and the lady pilot flying it. We get proper images of that. It looks as stupid as it always did. A motorized hang glider. I'm down with it. It's a stupid G.I. Joe Cobra vehicle. That's always cool. So we've got two dumb Cobra things. We've got a giant battle suit and a hang glider. It's also got multiple faces as well for her. That's good. Or him. Not sure. Might be a dude. There's also what is this? The mass device driver with polar bear versus purple snake eyes, which I don't care too much about. It's a Joe thing, so who fucking cares? Then we have some images of some more of their figures just in like action poses and stuff. I think old ones. There's the scuba diving guys. It's just like just guys in scuba diving kits. Boring. Yawn. What was this set? Oh, the G.I. Joe Night Force, Beachhead, and what's his name? Kickback? Quick Strike. That guy. That looks okay. It's interesting. Got a cool like snake helmet head. Oh no, it's not a snake helmet. It's like a Japanese kind of max design for quick kick. Stupid G.I. Joe characters. I don't know the G.I. Joes. I know the Cobra guys, but not them. And then you have Crystal. We've got the images of Crystal Ball, who's a shit named villain, but actually it's a pretty cool design, I think. Comes with a shield that looks like a weird, old school lenticular design, where you'd kind of turn it up and down, and the image would turn. He's also got a translucent helmet of, like, the best way to describe it is a Cthulian head design. And some weird energy weapons. He looks a lot better than I thought he would, to be honest. He's clearly a weird G.I. Joe Cobra member. I kind of dig him, to be honest. There's also a G.I. Joe dude who I don't know or care about. There's the Iron Grenadier dude who I remember seeing. What was his name? Gonna have to click off it. Does it tell you? Oh, Histank, you're not gonna tell me who he is. I don't know who he is. He's a bizarre-looking Cobra dude. Iron Grenadier Cobra Man. I don't know where the image is. There it is. Metal face, tongue coming out of the mask, lime green top with black tiger stripes. What's he holding? Holding a weird, maybe minigun, single-handed minigun and sword. With a spike, with a boot with grenade rounds on it and a mask to go over his face. This is a cool design. This is a stupid 90s design. I like it. There's a Roadbuster with a really good head design. I think is this Roadbuster? I think it's Roadbuster. With a cool missile launch gimmick kind of backpack. I really like the head design. It's smooth. And then we have more images of the boxes. And the Joe figure with the blowy bubblegum, who I don't care about. Alvin Breaker? Whatever, I don't care about him. Stupid G.I. Joes. Crystal Ball. Yeah, in this image you can see his weird Cthulian mask, and he's got a flaming sword. I don't know why he's called Crystal Ball as well. That's like the least, like, threatening name you could give to a dude. Oh, it comes also with look at his cool pistol. With like a gold chain wrapped around it, and this other green effect. Yeah, and another green effect as well. Ooh. Richard Crystal Ball King. What a name! My name is Richard King, but you can call me the Crystal Ball. Oh. He should look like Ed Shooter Paul. He could have been the Crystal Maze. Oh, that would have been good. Was it Ed Shooter Paul? That guy, that would have been great. I'd like him to be a Cobra villain. Oh, that'd be amazing. Then we have some other G.I. Joes. Who's this Cobra dude? His eyes are weird. I don't know this guy. What's the weapon he's got? He's got like a powered Wolverine claw. A really cool mask, to be honest, but I don't know who he is. Torch. Is that Torch? No, it's not Torch. It's the G.I. Joe flamethrower dude who I don't give a shit about. Oh, it's a Fang Viper. Oh, okay, a Fang Viper. He looks okay. His expression's a little bit too peaceful for me. He needs to look angry. Oh, it's not a claw. You know what it looks like? It looks like the Fang Viper comes with oh, what's that? What's that stupid game? Lacrosse. It looks like he comes kind of like with a lacrosse kind of scoopy thing where you scoop up the ball and you throw it back to people. Whatever that is. I think I saw it in a sci-fi TV show. Maybe it wasn't lacrosse. Yeah, some interesting G.I. Joe here. There's the dog as well. Who's this? Oh, Law and Order. That'll be a good, like, that's a good set. Man and dog. The goodest boy. If there's a Joe I can respect, it's Order. Because is it Order? Is Order the dog? Yeah, Order's the dog because he doesn't get a full name. I like the dog. I don't like Law. The dog is the goodest boy. Who's this guy with a stupid mustache? Pornotash. Don't recognize him either. Mainline collection. Oh, this is just mainline. It doesn't give you the individual names. I didn't get to see what the Iron Grenadier was called. Oh, Dark Lawn. His name's Dark Lawn. Quality name. I might have to pick up Dark Lawn because he's stupid. Love him. Crazy, weird, bizarre. I'm gonna get Richard King as well. I bet women want to fuck this guy. He looks like that kind of guy. He's got that edgy alternative look, and like he talks about like alternative lifestyles, like being vegan. He's got that kind of look about him. Who is he? Oh, Breaker. Breaker's the dude with the bubble gum in his mouth. That's why I don't know him. Stupid Joe. But yeah, some interesting looking. I don't think anything new was revealed for G.I. Joe, but they showed physical prototypes, which I do appreciate. The only other thing that really caught my eye was they showed off the X-Force Archangel figure, which we got a teaser for a while ago, which was the little things where he flips his wings and little knives come out of his wings. I don't think this is a new. I think no. The wings are new, the head is new, the hands are new, and then I'm not sure what body this is, but the body doesn't have any butterfly joints. It seems. I'm always annoyed when I don't see butterfly. I'm always really annoyed with Marvel figures when I see joints not implemented, which should just be standard by this point, especially when they've already made them for other books. I'm like, you just need to update your books. Just make all the books have consistent articulation is all I'm asking. I do like the look of this figure. It's Archangel. I can't see why he wouldn't get repainted into standard Archangel, and you don't even need to. You just need to repaint the heads, and you could just make them to Archangel. He looks good. The X-Force, Warpath, and X-23 look like just basic reissues of the last 2-pack that came out. So Warpath has obvious pins in his knees showing, which look bad. He's got pins in his arms as well, which is like, again, consistency, Hasbro. X-23 looks like she's clearly using the old buck as well, the older female buck. It looks like there might be one new head in there. I don't know, the unmasked one. I'm not sure. They're doing a Doctor Doom helmet, a life-size one. By life-size, I mean it has to be slightly oversized so it fits everybody's gigantic heads. And then they just show the wave that's either out or coming out soon. And then the super overpriced Maximum Spider-Man. $50 for this thing. You can suck my cock. You can suck my cock. When we get into $50 or £50 for like a Marvel figure, and this is now comparable to like Mafex and Japanese import toys, and this won't stack up to that. I don't give a fuck. I'd get this if it went on sale. I ain't spending that much money on it. Otherwise, you can suck my dick. That's why I say to that. Then they just showed off the figures that are already out and whatnot, or coming out soon. And then the stupid Gamerverse figures, which I'm just like, oh, for God's sake. The stupid crap Spider-Man 2 game. What disappointment. I don't think there was anything else that I saw that I was like, ooh, that's pretty. That's worth talking about. No, I think that was it. So, with that being said, what have I picked up recently? I got Quake. I got Silverbolt. I got Slipstream. And I got Hotshot. Cybertron Hotshot recently, and I don't think I've talked about any of them. So we can go... Oh, and I got the repaint of Preceptor, the black one. Magnificus, that's what it's called. And I guess I mentioned briefly that I wasn't too impressed with the mold. I'm not. I think the transformation is pretty basic. Just the way that it feels isn't that exciting. He feels like a... just kind of dull mold. You know, you pick it up, you're like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just kind of... just boring, and I think that's inherent to how he transforms and whatnot, because it's not an exciting transformation. And I wish for the tank mode the legs pegged together a little bit better. The way that the legs move in and out on the hips, they're quite loose, or they're looser than I would hope they would be. They get to a point and then you have to like kind of tug harder on them, and that's to get them to lock a little bit closer into place for their transformed position, I guess you could say. But I only spent like, what was he, £15? It's like, fine, whatever. Slipstream, I got her on sale as well. I feel that I've probably got the Windblade figure, because I fiddled around with this and was like, I'm sure I've got this mold, but I don't know. I don't know. Felt like I was losing my goddamn mind. It's fun enough. It's got its issues. I don't like the fact that there's no real good place for her to put her null rays, really. And I still think the face sculpt is not Slipstream. It is 100% just girl Starscream. It's not animated Slipstream. It's not Cyberverse Slipstream. It's just femboy Starscream, which, I think Slipstream should have a distinct head sculpt, to be honest. Not something that just happens to look like Starscream, is what my opinion is there. The wings are a little, when you transform her and you have the wings behind her and you're meant to push them back a little bit, they have a tendency to like flip forward a little bit too easily. It's not a huge deal, it's just something I've noticed. The transformation still kind of, it's fun enough, but the overall result for the jet mode is, you've seen the jet mode, it's not the best, but it's a nice transformation, just doesn't get you to a great end product, I suppose you could say. But I like it well enough. Color scheme's nice enough. The colors work a lot better than I thought they did in the promotional images. Hotshot is nearly the same figure as the original toy. I like the fact you can unpeg the doors from his wrists, so from his forearms. I think that's nice. It's a minor feature and whatnot. I don't like how the backpack works. I don't like the fact that you pull the backpack away and then there's this blue panel that folds down behind his head and kind of connects his backpack to his body. It's a little too easy to get that disconnected, I feel. I was hoping there was a better way to have it connect together, but there doesn't seem to be. Where with the original toy, you just spun it around. And I think that was a bit more maybe elegant. This allows you to do more posing with the arms. I agree. But it just doesn't feel good just because of how easy it is to pop up. Also, because of how the shoulders are placed, because of the original toy design, he has some weird arm articulation. Like, his arms feel longer than they should be. But again, that's mainly due to the original way that the toy was designed. And they didn't really change too much about it. They changed how the legs work. Instead of you just, like, pushing the legs up and pulling them down and having them click into place, of just combine a Wars Dirt, which is like, yeah, okay, fair enough. I get why you did that. Makes things a little bit more sustainable for the future. Quake's a weird one. Quake is a quite decent figure, like robot. Again, his hips are a little bit on the loose side, like doing in and out, they're looser than I'd like them to be, and because they're pins, you can't really tighten them. I think the robot mode is nice and it's appropriate. It's better than the, Titan's Return Quake, where it was based off of Hardhead. He's got the correct colors on him because the ones on that mold were too dull. They were too dark. These are more saturated and more accurate to how Quake should look. The head mold's nice. The transformation isn't too bad. The problem is the tank mode's just ass. Like, it just doesn't look good. It's worse than Slipstream's. But it's not a bad transformation, if you know what I mean. It's an interesting way of getting him from one mode to another, but when you have the end result, you just kind of look at it and you're like, that's meant to be a tank, isn't it? Oh. It's like looking at an ugly child. You're like, your friends are like, that's my baby cute, and you're like, yeah, that's a cute child you got there, my dude. Oh boy. That's how I feel about Quake's alt mode. It's really fucking ugly. It's nice that he comes with his two companions as well. That's kind of fun. And I've talked about Silverball before. I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, that's them. I've also obviously finished off my Iron Factory set, which I think I talked about before, so I won't talk about that either. Through the post today, I got Lies of P for the PS4 because I wanted a hard copy of Lies of P, because I enjoyed it so much playing it on Steam. I'd like to have a physical version just in case, Transformers, Devastation, and War of Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron shows that, sometimes digital games can just vanish. Steam could die tomorrow, and all that money you've spent in Steam, it's gone. You've lost all those games, so I thought I'll buy Lies of P. And also picked up Mashoka Tensei Season 2 Part 1. It was on sale as well, so I was like, yeah, why not? Hordak was picked up as well from Master of the Universe Classics cartoon line. But I don't know when that'll come through Amazon's post system. Who knows? But that's it, chat. That's our reveals for today. That's the Toyfair stuff. Hurrah! I say to you, hurrah! Some interesting bits, some interesting boobles. Some nice looking things. I'm hoping QC on things is good, but with Hasbro, it's always hard to tell. Thanks for coming on by. If you want to catch me, I'm on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy, Rotten Flesh of a Human Being. We'll be back next week on Moonbase 2. We're on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, and Libsyn, ccbunker.weebly.com, or on YouTube and Twitch, Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, at like 9:30 in the evening UK time. If you want to come out and hang with me, and chat like Exel Hedge and Mr. White and anybody else who's hanging around in chat, thank you very much for coming on by. I assume we're not going to get any news next week, so it'll be me and Big D picking up where we left off, talking about the rest of the animated toy line. Exel Hedge says, I prefer Titans Return Quake. Okay, yes, it's wrong body, but it feels better in hand than Legacy. I'm just giving the Titans Return the Legacy Target Masters. That's an interesting way to look at it. I think the robot mode is far better than the Titans Return version, and I think the colors are better, and I think the transformation's a bit more interesting. But the tank mode is just so wonky for Legacy. The tank mode's wrong for Titans Return, but it's a better tank mode. You know, he shouldn't be an H tank. He should be a tank. But yeah, I don't. If you like the Titans Return version, that's fair play. I get you. Anyway, thanks for coming on by, chat. And everybody listening as well. We'll catch you next week for Moonbase 2. Thank you very much. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Yeah.